Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Purple Mortgage Guys. On a Victory Monday, you're in for a treat. We've got a special guest here with us to join the show. Jordan, he goes by Goose affectionately at our office here. So welcome, Goose, to the show. Tanner, Goose, another fun weekend of football. We got the Vikings game stress out of the way early in the morning. Got the nice ricochet double doink for the victory, and here we sit at 3-1 on the season. So, Tanner, I'll start with you. Thoughts on the game yesterday?
It's kind of a reiteration from the Lions game. A lot of complaining going on, but for me, just happy we squeaked out of there with a victory. I think it's kind of funny. I know you and I just talked about how so ironic how we have so much heartbreak in our fandom as Vikings fans, but it seems like every time we play the Saints, they're the ones that end up with the heartbreak. So, not complaining about that, but just glad we squeaked out of London with a W. Wins are not easy to come by in this league, and people have to realize that even the good teams in this league are still struggling week to week. I don't know how many people out there thought the Packers were probably going to go to overtime against the Patriots yesterday with their third string quarterback. So they didn't look very good at home either. And you just have to realize that it's all about preparation and how teams prepare for each other. And the Vikings just need to move on to the next week, and hopefully we can take care of business against Chicago as well.
I feel like it's similar to last year in the fact that we were in a close game again, but last year we always came up on the losing end. This year we've had back-to-back games where we definitely could have lost. We're behind, we trailed, Kirk brought us back. We came out on top. So would you rather have the great stats and come up short like we've had the last couple of years, or just win and try to improve and come back again next week a little bit better? So I'm with you. Very encouraged the fact that we won, and there's a lot left on the table for the offense specifically to improve, and I think that bodes well. I'm still a little concerned about the defense. We made Andy Dalton look really good, which I don't think there's a huge gap between him and Winston to begin with. But Kamara was out, Michael Thomas was out, and they moved the ball pretty well. So, Goose, interested on your takes. For those that don't know, Goose has a lot of Vikings knowledge there as well. So interested to see what you thought of the game yesterday, Goose.
Yeah, you guys both kind of took the words out of my mouth. It's a frustrating game to watch. I want a complete game of our offense, who we've been very excited and hyped up about to look like a dominating offense. I feel like we haven't seen that yet. We've seen glimpses. But you have to remember, it's the NFL. This year, more than anything I can remember recently, it seems like the margin between the worst teams in the league and the best teams in the league is smaller. I feel like coaches are on a short leash. There's a lot of good, young, hard-nosed coaches that are getting their teams kind of ramped up. Like you look at the Jaguars playing really well. The Lions are building up their trenches. Just doesn't seem like there's a joke of a team in the NFL. With that said, it feels good to be on the other side of it, to pull out these close wins that we were losing last year. It feels like everything's going our direction for once. So we got a call or two that seemed like would have gone against us in years past. That went our way. We get a missed field goal. It would have been crazy to see the other team make 2 60-plus yard field goals to bring it into overtime. But yeah, overall, you got to be happy with 3-1 start to the year. Coming back. The way that we handled London, I think, was also like the sacrifice was going to be the game in London. Now we get back, hopefully not as jet lagged, as off on the timing. So excited to see how they come out against the Bears.
Definitely. I think they landed last night at like 2 a.m. So it's a long couple of days, but now, yeah, back to business, and the Bears the week ahead. So a couple of the big plays, that Jefferson go route in the fourth quarter late to pick up a good chunky yardage right off the bat. That was fun. Greg Joseph had a great day, missed that extra point, unfortunately. That game probably plays out a lot differently if they're down 4. So who knows, you know, how that ends, but he comes through in the clutch. Tanner, you had a bold prediction of Delvin Cook, but you also called the Greg Joseph late field goal to win it for us. So that was pretty cool. Just looking at stats, JJ had a great game, 147 yards on 10 catches. Thielen had another 8. That seemed like the perfect mix of getting Thielen and Jefferson the ball, sprinkling in a little Irv Smith, KJ Osborne, just one catch. I think he would have had a touchdown, but it was called back on a pick play. Jalen Rager did not get a catch, but Jalen Naylor had his first catch, came from our punter Ryan Wright on a fake. So it was good to see him aggressive. I actually wanted him to go for it on that one. They ended up with the fake, which was effective. Then I think we backed up and settled for a field goal again. But yeah, just red zone offense seemed to be probably the biggest concern looking at yesterday. Almost like Kirk got a little skittish after that first interception and didn't want to push the ball into the end zone. I know he had thrown it down in the flat once to Thielen. Jefferson probably would have been open if he had just waited another split second for that to unfold. So I don't know, big plays, guys. What did you see there that you liked or didn't like?
For me, the biggest play of the game was the Ryan Wright pass to Jalen Naylor. I don't know if the Vikings win that game without that. That was, in my mind, the one play that I come away with.
One that comes to my mind that I think was kind of under the radar for the game itself. Tanner pointed out some social media tension going on between Chris Boyd and the fans again. And I even saw some of the comments on there where I don't like when a player goes after the fans, but even some of the comments were, you know, you're not really helping the team. And all I could think about was he had a huge forced fumble and recovery on special teams, gets the ball back for offense, one less drive that our defense has to defend. I think that was a huge play in the game for him to, because I watched it back, he overran the play, missed the returner. Feel like some younger players might just, hey, looks like everyone's wrapped up. He busts his butt back to the returner, punches the ball out and recovers it. I think that was a kind of a game changer there too.
Awesome. So our bold predictions, recapping those from Friday, Tanner. I believe you had Delvin Cook on a monster game. We won't have to get into details there. He has not been able to break free yet this year. And then you had I think you had a 2-point game with Joseph winning the game on a late fourth quarter field goal. So you nailed the prediction there. Score was, I think, just a few points off, but played out how you thought. I had predicted a 10-point win. That did not happen. Probably could have, maybe even should have, but win's a win. And then I had Kirk on a late, I think a second half sneak for a first down. He did have one in the first half, which Goose pointed out to me yesterday as we were watching the game. But that does not count. So we'll move on and regroup, watch the tape, and try to be better next week for next week's game. So
I think that gets a half a point.
Half a point? Okay.
Kirk does not sneak the ball much. When he made that prediction and we had the quarterback sneak on third down, I was a little shook by that call. So I feel like it's not something to go to.
I was considering was a Johnny Munt touchdown, and he had probably a touchdown go right between his hands. He'd had to run it in from about 10 yards out, but anyway, didn't have anyone win the contest prediction for scores. So keep your predictions coming for the weeks ahead. All you have to do is predict the score right, and then you get your name in a drawing for a couple of Jets tickets on December 4th. So we'll update the audience again for that on Friday. Rants and Raves. We do this every Monday following the game as well. Just one thing that we liked and one thing we did not like from the game that just played out. So, Tanner, you want to start us off with a rant from yesterday?
I got a couple rants, but I think my biggest one is probably about my prediction is one, Dalvin Cook, where are you? He didn't have a horrible game, but we're paying him a lot of money at the running back position to not show up every week here. I wouldn't say our offensive line play is bad by any means. I don't know what they need to do to try to get him more involved. But Dalvin Cook, and even on the other side of the ball, it's not that Danielle Hunter is bad, but we are also paying you an astronomical amount of money to not show up every week. Zadarius Smith is the one that keeps showing up on tape every single week, and Danielle Hunter is nowhere to be found. So those are my biggest rants, I think, through 4 games. I'm hoping that changes going forward, but it's just not ideal. I hate paying players top 5 at their position and they don't show the production to back that up. So
yeah. Goose, you got any rants from yesterday?
Definitely. I think I'm gonna stick with I want our offense to look elite. I feel like this is the first year in a long time where there's not any excuses. You have an offensive coach, you have a good young O-line, you have plenty of weapons, you have a good caliber quarterback who's been paid like one. And it's tricky. I can't put my finger on what's going on, but I've watched a lot of other games around the league. Every offense has kind of splashed and put up significant points, and to kind of be stuck at that 24, 28. I know you guys talked last week. That is maybe a little bit better than league average, but I want to see a blowout game where our offense looks dominant.
Yeah. I would say mine would be, you guys know that like if you look on a game on ESPN, they have the predictor chance of winning and it goes up and down throughout the game. That was kind of me yesterday. Really excited after that first drive. We looked good early, and then we kind of sputtered again throughout. And I feel like when Kirk has something go wrong, like his brain just like shuts down and basically doesn't want to make another mistake. And I think we had that again yesterday, and then he gets in a position where he's actually behind, and then he flips it back on and we go right down the field and score again. But it's almost like when we've got a small lead, he knows the margin of error is so small that he wants to be perfect. And I think he ends up getting conservative. And I think O'Connell probably has to, coach that out of him at some point here through the year. I'm still trying to be patient on the offense. I know everybody says that. So I think Alex Boone was on a show here a few weeks ago saying 5 or 6 weeks is when you should really be clicking with the new offense. So I would say after the bye, we have to be, to Goose's point, we have to be scoring a lot of points because our defense is probably what it is. We're not going to win a lot of 13-10 games. We're going to need to score 25, 30 points weekly to be in a good position. So mine is Kirk. Just keep pushing the ball, feeding Jefferson, and some of those 50-50 balls, not dumb mistakes, but throw it up, give Jefferson a chance to come down with it. More often than not, he's going to. So Raves for the week. Anything that you were just really excited about or pleased with yesterday, Tanner?
I'm kind of contradicting myself a little bit with this one because I really want to echo what Goose said about the offense. This is an offense that should be top 5 with all the talent that we have on paper. There's not really any excuses for that. I do think we need to give them a couple weeks to see if they can click and fire on all cylinders. But at the same time, I give a lot of props to Kevin O'Connell because I think this is a coach that is a player's coach, and I think the team genuinely does love him and loves playing for him. You can just see it in their post-game videos that the team is posting. I think they just genuinely love this guy, and I don't know if this was a game yesterday that the Vikings would have won if Zimmer was here, just because of the conservativeness. Zimmer's not really one of those guys that's going to take a chance on a 4th and short in the 4th quarter to try to go ahead and go for the win. And also, does Greg Joseph make that kick in the 4th quarter if Zimmer's in his ear hole every week, giving him crap about how he needs to be better and not miss extra points?
After he missed an extra point, he probably would have been all in his grill, making sure he didn't miss again, because that helps.
Right. So my rave is for Kevin O'Connell. Keep it up. I love the breath of fresh air. I'm hoping that our offense can eventually get to the point to where we know they are capable of being, but I'm glad that we do have a coach here that fans and players love.
Awesome. Goose, what do you have for a rave?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with kind of an under the radar one, I think. I really noticed some veteran leadership yesterday. Pat Pete ran up to Chris Boyd, who took his helmet off to celebrate after that recovery. Kind of nipped after him, made sure he got his helmet back on before they threw a flag. I think he's been playing pretty well. It does look like he's maybe lost a half a step, but his leadership on the field, Harrison Smith's quiet leadership. I think we've got a really good balance of young talent with some old guys who you always hear that they could be saying the same exact thing that the coach is saying, but it comes different from someone on the team, someone out there with you. So I think we kind of have to lean on those guys as we get further on in the year to echo what KOC is saying.
Mine would be special teams. I think special teams has been phenomenal. Again, yesterday, executing the fake, haven't had to burn any timeouts, in situations where they're not ready to go, like just a well-run, well-coached unit. And I think they're playing extremely well. I think Ryan Wright's been doing extremely well as a punter, a holder. Joseph's been executing. Like to see probably a few more yards on our punt return and kickoff returns with those two guys. But overall, they've been very, very sound, and I think put us in a position to win yesterday. So there you have it. Any closing thoughts on the game itself yesterday, guys?
Nope. I hope we can make it back to US Bank Stadium this week and go 3-0 in the division. That'd be huge for us. So
would be nice to pick up a W and then see what happens in Miami before the bye. But if we can go 4-2 or 5-1 into the bye, I think we're sitting really good. Watch that offense start clicking in the second half of the year and hopefully set ourselves up to be in a position to make the playoffs and maybe win a couple games. So there you have it. Another episode of Purple Mortgage, guys. Just a reminder, we're all actually work together in the same office in the mortgage business. So if we can help you out with anything mortgage related, feel free to reach out, let us know. We'd love to help you out and talk a little Vikings football at the same time. So have a great week, everyone. We'll see you again Friday for preview of the Bears game.